Hello and welcome to the next stage of the Packard Bell build. This stage actually proved to be a bit of a downer, to be honest with you. We'd got the hard drive into the machine, and we were running through trying to set the drive up, but no matter what we tried, we could not get the drive to work. So in the end, I decided to just literally just try and boot it off a floppy, just see if I could actually try and boot off a floppy disk. I mean, technically we already know the machine works because it worked with the 170 megabyte hard drive that was within the Amstrad laptop, so we knew, to a certain extent we were pretty good from that respect. But ideally I wanted it to work with the much larger drive that we had, which I purchased, and I wanted to see if I could actually use that drive to get the operating system installed, etc. So what we tried booting it initially from the floppy. The floppy drive did not want to work, so what I then did was I retrieved from my shed, funnily enough, a 1995 486 PC, which I literally only just found the other day when I was going through bits and pieces that were located in the shed, so I was quite pleased to find that. So I brought that one into the house, took out the floppy disk drive and put the floppy disk drive into the Packard Bell, just rested it on top, and I was able to get myself into the boot disk environment. So what I'm trying to do here at the moment is I've fiddled around with hard drive types. So I'm trying a type 11, which I know won't work, but I wanted to try it anyway. As when I actually tried booting from the hard disk initially, you would get all of this really sort of strange stuff on the screen, just saying 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, all over the screen. And there's no reason for it whatsoever. The only thing I can think of, well, there's obviously a reason for everything, but the only thing I can think of is that either this machine has a hardware problem, perhaps with the onboard IDE controller, which means that it's not able to detect and use drives above a certain capacity. So in this case it can't see or use drives above these at probably say a 200 megabyte mark, or we have a problem with the BIOS itself. Now I've had a quick look online, and as we can see we've got version 1.01 of the BIOS at the moment, Phoenix BIOS. There are later versions available, so I am giving some thought to actually burning, there's a term, copying a later copy of the BIOS onto a floppy disk and trying to flash the BIOS on this particular machine to see if I can actually get some life out of it. It wasn't all bad though. We did actually discover that it is actually using the 30-pin SIMs for memory, which I was a little surprised at because I thought 30-pin SIMs were only for 16-bit applications and not for 32-bit applications, but I was happy to be proven wrong on that one. So that wasn't a bad thing. We also discovered that the PC I dragged out the shed after a quick clean-up and removal of some of the RAM works absolutely fine. So that's going to actually make up the basis of another upcoming project, and I'll probably be focusing more of my attentions on that particular machine for a couple of reasons. It has installed a lot more RAM. It's actually running at the moment just over 20 megabytes of RAM, this newer machine. It's newer, and the BIOS actually auto-detects the hard drive, so it's not as antiquated as this Packard Bell is, which is surprising given that there really is only a couple of years difference in between them. It really does show that sort of between 1993 and 1995 there was quite an increase in what we were able to do with PC technology and motherboard technology. Anyway, as usual, I'm talking over the exit sequence. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to subscribe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you once again for watching.